What's up, HASfit Tribe? It's your personal trainer, Coach Kozak.
I'm Claudia, and this is a dumbbell back and biceps workout.
We do recommend having several weights available to you so that you can mix up your resistance depending on the exercise.
You will have an opportunity to use a barbell for one of the exercises, but it's not required.
If you're ready to go, let's get started. Let's kick things off with a warm-up. We have a compound move for you here first. Moving to the floor, we're up on one knee. It's a T-spine rotation and hamstring stretch. Got our hands up by our ears. And I'm gonna start by going into that lead leg and rotating away from it, opening up those hips and groin area. And then I'm gonna come back, straighten out that lead leg, and rotate into it. So it's a dynamic warm-up exercise, moving at your own pace here, going back and forth between the two. You can tell we're warming up our back, really our whole posterior chain here.
Oh my goodness, even some ankle mobility work.
Yeah, we like these compound moves. Making sure to breathe, we don't want to hold our breath. One more time on this side. All right, so switching it up, opposite side now. So switch which foot is up. And again, we're gonna start by going into that lead leg and rotating away from it. And then as you come back, you straighten out that lead leg, stretching that hamstring. Great one for our mid back, upper back, lower back, as well as our hamstrings and glutes and hips.
And our balance.
And our balance, that as well, which, hey, why not? We can get a little extra credit balance work in, and why not? And 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, I'm gonna explain this next one while Claudia ties her shoe. We're going to do a bird dog exercise. We're gonna go, usually we do that before the video. We're gonna go down onto all fours.
Whoops.
Into a quadruped position. I'm gonna bring my right hand to my left knee and then straighten out both my right arm and my left leg. Alternate now. Left hand to my right knee. So as I bring that arm up, I'm gonna squeeze that upper back muscle. And then as I kick that leg out, I'm gonna drive that heel back, almost like I'm trying to kick a hole in the wall behind me, squeezing that glute. So I'm not bringing that leg up, but instead I'm driving that heel straight back, finishing with a nice straight line is what we're going for here. Another great warm-up exercise for that whole posterior chain. Great core move, anti-rotation exercise as well. Again, we like these efficient moves. Nice and controlled as we alternate between the right and left side. Getting lots of oxygen in here as well. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we can actually stay in this quadruped position, and we're going to perform a scapula push-up next. So I want to start by bringing my chest to the floor, and I'm retracting my shoulder blades, bringing my shoulders back and my chest to the floor, and almost like I'm trying to pinch my shoulder blades together. Now, reverse it, opposite now, bring it coming up from the middle of my back, almost like there's a hook in the middle of my back, pulling away from the spine. And repeat, going back and forth between the two extremes, if you will.
So from this position, pulling your shoulder blades away from your spine.
That's
as
right.
You push up. And then squeezing.
So really kind of squeezing on both ends here. Again, trying to take that range of motion to the extreme of both sides. for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right. I'm feeling like my back is sufficiently warm.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And it is time for what you've all been waiting for, our back and biceps workout. We are going to start by alternating 2 different exercises. One is more of a total back exercise, where the other is a biceps exercise. I'm going to use dumbbells for our first one.
I'm actually going to use a barbell for this one.
And we're going to perform a sumo deadlift. So if you have a barbell handy, you want to use the barbell, feel free to do so. If you just want to use dumbbells, that's cool too. We're going to encourage you to make today's workout work for you.
That's right.
But the setup for both of us is really similar. We're both going to get started with our feet wider than hip width apart and a slight bend or a slight point out of our toes. It's our good setup there. The big difference between these 2 moves, dumbbells versus barbell, is really my move starts at the top and hers starts at the bottom, but the form is the same. I'm going to sit back with my hips to start staying balanced between my front of my foot and my back of my foot. And then I'm going to push off that mid foot, keeping my shoulders retracted, back straight, core braced, and repeat. We're doing this one for 8 repetitions in total.
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go?
Yep.
So am I. Ready and begin.
So I'm really keeping the barbell as close to my shins as possible with my shoulders back behind the bar and pushing through my midfoot.
We're keeping our core braced throughout the whole move. And what that really means is you're like, almost like picture your core as being a balloon and you're pressing out on that core and 360 degrees, from 360 degrees all the way around, and it stays tight the whole time. We don't want it to get loose. And we want to make sure that when we come up, we're bringing our hips up at the same rate as our back. So I'm going to show you what we don't want to do is we don't want to lift the hips up first and then finish with the back, but instead it all comes up at the same rate.
Okay, one more right here.
And there is number 8. Okay,
Feels
so
good.
There's our total back exercise. And like I mentioned, we're going to alternate it with a dumbbell bicep exercise. So we need 2 dumbbells. We're going to perform a dumbbell wall curl. And for the strength workouts, we need between 30 to 60 seconds to recover in between each. So if you're
Especially
used to
some grip if you're
For
using
sure.
a barbell.
So if you're used to like high pace HIIT workouts, this isn't it.
Not
Our
it.
muscles need that recovery time in between each set. So 2 dumbbells for our wall curl, making our way on over to either a wall, a door, anything you can just lean against, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna place my upper arm flush against that wall with my elbows keeping contact. Now I'm gonna curl palms up, all the way down for 12 repetitions. Ready?
Yes.
And begin. Control the way down, control the way up. The beauty of this wall curl is it is a true isolation exercise where it's not allowing any momentum, not allowing your shoulders to take over in it, really forcing those biceps to do all of the work, especially from this angle that they're in. And other sneaky kind of benefit here is you have to control the way down if you don't want to put a hole in your wall or door, which we always talk about, that controlled movement, that controlled lowering, eccentric phase, yielding phase of the exercise.
That's 8.
And it's 12 in total. So appropriate weight here should be 9, 10, 11, 12, getting tough.
Oh yeah. 2 more to go.
There's 11. Again, control that lowering phase.
Inhale and exhale as you bring the weight up to your shoulder.
And there is 12. Okay, so that's one time through our superset. We're gonna go through it one more time. Now is the time to adjust your weight accordingly. If that first set was too easy, up your resistance. If that first set was too difficult and you felt your form was being sacrificed, then lower your resistance. I'm gonna increase my weight just ever so slightly here, forming the deadlifts.
And for this one, as I come down into the position to pick up my barbell, I want to make sure that I don't have any slack. I'm not loosey-goosey. I have a nice, tight, braced core. I'm sitting back and my shoulders are back behind the bar.
I like that, loosey-goosey. That's a technical term.
I mean, you know.
I'm just giving you a hard time. It paints the correct picture. You definitely want to take out the slack.
You want to make sure that you're nice and braced. It just really helps prevent injury.
Exactly. And so deadlifts are a totally safe exercise to do when done correctly and with appropriate weight.
Absolutely.
All right, so second set, sumo deadlifts here. Nice wide stance. Start by bracing that core. Should be tight, 360 all around. All right, ready, and begin. Again, the big difference here is just one of us is starting on the top, the other starts on the bottom, but the movement pattern is really the same. And regardless of which exercise you choose, you want to keep that weight close to your body throughout. So it shouldn't be out in front of you too bad. If you have that barbell, that bar should almost be rubbing up against your shins and quads throughout the whole move. And if you have these dumbbells, they're hanging straight down throughout.
3 more to go.
Make sure to bring those hips down on every repetition. Don't just bend over or hinge at your waist and make your lower back do the whole thing.
Right here, last one.
And there it is. Very good.
Ooh,
all right.
nice work.
You got the dumbbells. Make sure you use those legs to set them down safely.
Yes.
Okay, so second set of our dumbbell wall curls, and you're feeling those biceps are working even throughout those sumo deadlifts.
Yes, for sure.
Second set, 12 repetitions of our wall curl. You decide if you want to keep the same weight, increase it, decrease it. Again, you should always be kind of making these little micro decisions throughout your strength training just to get the most out of your workout.
It's so amazing how doing a leg exercise like that can really take the wind out of you.
Well, if you think about it too, the deadlift, it's really, yes, we're doing it on back day because it's, really working your whole posterior chain, but so many muscle groups are involved.
Oh, for
so it
sure.
is going to take it out of you. All right, here we go. 12 repetitions of our wall curl. Arms are flat up against that wall or door. Let's begin. Again, control the way up, control the way down. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. And again, big deep breaths here. Focus on that breathing, that controlled pace, keeping your wrists tight and locked in. We don't want loosey-goosey wrists, as Claudia would say. Or I usually call them noodle wrists. Nice and tight. So a nice straight line from your fist down to your elbow.
Here's number 9. 3 more to go.
Starting to feel that burn kick in. That's all right. It's how we know it's working. It's how we know you chose the appropriate weight.
11. 1 more.
And there is 12. Excellent job. Our next superset is starting with a dumbbell snatch from a hang. Excellent exercise for upper back and traps. We need 2 dumbbells for this one. And if you haven't done it before, I would start with a low to moderate weight. If you've done it before, you could use a heavier weight. So leave that one up to you. We're going to perform 10 repetitions. Palms are facing us, slight bend in our knees to start. Now we're going to hinge at our hips, bringing the dumbbells down to about knee height. And now I'm going to explode my hips forward while I bring my elbows as high as they can. And when they can't get any higher, I'm going to flip them over. So again, hips go back and then hips go forward at the same time, bringing my elbows as high as they can. And when they reach that highest point, flip the dumbbells straight over, pulling with those upper back muscles. All right, we have this one for 10 repetitions in total. Ready, and begin. Hips back, hips forward, drive them. Big power on this one. Resetting in between every repetition. Bringing them down, and then big power. And as you get better at it, as you explode up, you can also come up onto the balls of your feet as you're exploding straight up. Again, Key on this one is just to bring those elbows as high as they can go before flipping them over and catching them. Core staying tight and braced throughout.
Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you explode up. One more to go, right here.
Big power. And there's 10.
Ooh.
All right, so again, alternating with a dumbbell bicep exercise. 2 dumbbells needed, probably a similar weight to the weight that you were using on the wall curl. We're gonna do a dumbbell cross body curl for 8 repetitions on each arm. So dumbbells are at our side to start. Palms are facing us. Now keeping that dumbbell up against our body and our palm parallel to our body, we're curling cross body, and then alternate opposite side here.
So do 16 in total in each arm.
16 in total. Like I said, similar weight, slightly more repetitions than we were doing on the wall curl. So depending on where you are in fatigue level, adjust your weight accordingly. A couple of big deep breaths here to make sure we get our 30 to 60 second rest period. We don't rush into it. Okay, ready? Shoulders back and begin. Controlling that lowering phase. You're gonna hear me say that about 1 million times today, as well as any strength training workout we do. It's really just from experience, witnessing so many individuals pop it up and then come down. But,
if you're doing that, you're using too much weight.
Well, that, and you're just only gonna get about half the results, right? Because there's 2 different parts to every move. You have that raising concentric, and then you have that lowering eccentric phase, which is arguably even more valuable when it comes to strength training and muscle building.
About halfway there.
Again, not rushing it here. Keeping that palm facing the body, parallel with the body throughout. This one's not only working our biceps, also working our forearms as well. And our grip strength. And the biceps from multiple angles today. Make sure we hit both heads, short and long head.
Last 2 right here.
There's 15 and a 16.
Nice job.
All right, so you should more than likely be switching up your weight at this point in time, because for most of you out there, you should be able to use more weight for that dumbbell snatch than you are for a curl, right? The curl is just an isolation exercise. Only one muscle group is lifting that dumbbell, compared to the snatch where we have a whole host of muscles
working together.
So, but again, depending on where you were with your first set, you need to increase the weight, make it a little harder, do so, decrease it. Didn't feel comfortable with your form, that's all right as well. No 2 bodies out here are exactly alike, so make this workout work for you. All right, feet are shoulder width apart. We have 10 snatches to perform. Palms are facing us. Drive those hips back to start. Feel a little stretch in your hamstrings as you're hinging, and then begin. Elbows up and catch. Reset, do it again. Keep that head in line with your spine. So actually your gaze should be going forward as you're hinging. If you're like doing this workout on a TV over a fireplace, you shouldn't be keeping your eyes and head up like this the whole time. Keep that head in line with your spine.
Halfway. 5 more.
Big power pull here. Boom. You're a power factory. Let's see it right here. Make that body generate power. It's all about speed on this exercise. Once you start performing the rep, boom, get them up.
That's 8. 2 more.
Elbows as high as it can go, and then flip them.
Last one.
And there's 10. Excellent. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
No more of those. We can set
more.
those down. And then shake the arms out a little bit.
Ooh,
That
my
grip.
hands.
Yeah, well, a lot of grip work today, right? Constantly holding that implement. Choosing a weight that's appropriate for you for our second set of cross body curls. Again, 8 repetitions on each arm. Big, deep breaths here.
Oh, yeah.
You're in it, folks. You're in it. You're doing it right here. Keep it up. You're doing great. Nothing can stop you here. Here we go. Ready and begin. Bring that dumbbell across the body every time. Control the way up, control the way down. And at the top, give it a nice boom squeeze. You don't have to make the boom noise. That's optional. If you want to, you can. Excellent. You got it. Getting stronger with every repetition.
And here's 8.
Every rep getting us just that much closer to our goals. Focusing on it here. What are we working towards? You just want, like sweet biceps, or working towards functional strength, whatever it is, living a little longer, better quality of life, losing some weight, gaining some muscle. I know everybody's got a different goal.
15, last one right here.
Think about it. Here's 16. All right, we're done with those.
Nice work.
Next up, we're gonna focus on a movement specifically targeting our lat muscles, that big muscle underneath our arms. We're gonna do a self-supported dumbbell hip row. It's not as complicated as it sounds. We need one heavier dumbbell for this one, so just one dumbbell. And we're gonna perform 12 repetitions on each side. Getting started in a staggered stance or a split stance. Both knees are bent. Opposite side hand is gonna be on my hip. Bending over on a 45-degree angle, keeping my shoulder square here, not rotating one way or the other. That dumbbell hanging down. Now I'm gonna pull back from my elbow and bring my hand back to my hip. Forward and back to that hip. Doing this one for 12 repetitions on each side. All right, ready and begin. So every time letting that elbow take the lead on the way back, and then that hand pulls back to the hip. Breathe throughout, pulling that arm back and not just straight up, really forcing that lat to engage here.
Whew, 7.
And again, it's 12 in total. Keep that core braced throughout. Don't want to be loose in your core.
Last one right here, number 12.
Ooh, very good. Okay, so it's 12 on each side, and you'll notice that that core has to stay engaged to keep you in that position.
Right.
So again, keep it braced, keep that 360 brace all the way around.
Fight the temptation to rotate to bring that arm up.
Ready, and begin. Same move, opposite side now. Again, that elbow leads the way. As that elbow pulls back, the hand comes back to our hip.
6. And if you're having a little bit of a problem with your balance, just widen your stance a little bit. That's 8.
Nice big deep breaths here. Exhaling as you pull that dumbbell up.
Last one.
Squeezing that lat. And there's 12. Okay, so we need to lighten our weight for the next one. We're going to perform a dumbbell Zottman curl. Again, probably a similar weight to the weight you've been using all day for our bicep exercises. 2 dumbbells required. We're going to perform 12 repetitions of this one. I got to say, yeah, this is probably my all-time favorite bicep exercise. Been doing it for, I'm going to date myself a little bit here, 25 years. It's a favorite. So shoulders are back, palms are up. We're going to curl up with our palms up, twist them so they're facing down, and then control that lowering phase. So palms up on the way up, down on the way down, keeping those elbows locked into our sides for 12 repetitions. Ready? Let's hit it. And I love this one because not only is it working your biceps, but it also really works those forearms. You can kind of overload those forearms with this one on that reverse curl. It's kind of a 2-for-1 exercise. Hitting both bicep heads in one movement. It's like if you only have time for one bicep exercise, this is the one I'd recommend. Originally learned this one from Christian Thibodeau, my Canadian friend. Shoulders are back. Core stays tight. And stay under control. You got it.
That's number 8.
Ooh,
you can do it. Stick with
12
it.
in total. Should be starting to feel that burn right now if you're doing it right. If you got the weight, the correct resistance for 12 repetitions.
Not using any momentum to get that dumbbell up.
And controlling the lowering phase.
This is 10 right here. You have 2 more.
Ooh, we're feeling it. We're burning together, tribe. Come on.
Woo.
Especially when you're going slow. Here we are.
Hopefully you're making just as pretty faces as I am over here.
Oh,
to get that
yeah,
weight
I'm
up.
sure. All right. There's 12. Hey, it's not about what our faces look like right now. As long as our biceps are looking pumped, that's what we're
That's
in.
all
it.
we care about.
All right. We are going to do that second set of our self-supported dumbbell hip row. Adjust your weight accordingly. Again, we're getting a little deeper into the workout here. So maybe, you're starting to feel a little fatigued and you need to decrease the weight. Or maybe you've gotten this far and you've been kind of being, a little
conservative on the weights.
Conservative. Hey, that's a good word. Conservative with your weights. So let's pump it up here. Make sure that we're challenging ourselves.
Yeah.
Again, everybody's different out there. We have 12 repetitions. Let's go ahead and start with our right arm. Split stance here. Left hand is going to be on my hip. Bending both knees. Core is tight here. You don't want it loose, man. It's going to make a long day for you. Tight, tight, tight. Shoulders are square. Ready? Begin. Pull back. Elbow leads the way. Every rep, elbow leads the way. You got it. Right to that. Bring that dumbbell back to the hip.
Ooh.
You'll notice this one doesn't always have the largest range of motion. It doesn't require it. Also notice how we're kind of pausing up at the top, getting that good squeeze in. Ensures we get that nice time under tension.
3 more.
Oh, there it is. So close. Come on, finish strong, folks.
Let's go. Last one right here. Pull it back. Nice
Good.
job.
Okay, switching hands. Again, making sure we're keeping that core brace throughout. It's so easy to forget about that. And then it's like, oh, why is my lower back catching on fire here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it might be because you're not braced. Okay, ready and begin. But I will say that today we definitely are working your lower back in a good way. Those spinal erector muscles, we're purposely working those as well as the rest of your back. So don't shy away from working your lower back. We want a strong lower back. You should work your lower back just the way we work your rest of your core.
This will definitely bulletproof your back. So as you age, you won't have as many problems.
That's it. A strong back is a healthy back.
That's right. Here's 10. 2 more.
Last 2. You got it, folks.
Nice work.
And there's 12. Okay. No more of those.
You made it.
Shake the arms out a little bit. Dumbbells Ottman curls. 12 repetitions. Again, choosing your weight accordingly here. Increase it, decrease it. You decide what's best for you, but always be challenging yourself because you can't spell change without some challenge in there. All right. Shoulders are back. Palms are going to be up.
Pelvis right underneath your rib cage.
And again, keeping those elbows in, right? So if I come up, see if I can do it wrong here. If I come up and then I allow those elbows to come out, all of a sudden now I'm working a whole host of other muscle groups other than just my biceps and forearms, and kind of a cheating way to do it. We don't want to do that.
So keep your elbows nice and close to your body is what
Keep
you're saying.
them tucked in, locked in.
Tuck it in. Okay.
Here we go. Ready. Begin. And if you're unable to keep them locked in, especially like during that lowering phase, then you may be using too much weight. Better then to decrease the weight and slow things down a bit. Again, strength training isn't just about the resistance used, but it's about that time under tension. How long those muscles have to spend working. Just as important.
Here's number 6. 6 more.
Shoulders are staying back. Don't let them round forward.
Don't lose any momentum to bring those dumbbells up.
Everything's starting to feel good about this point in time in the workout.
Yeah.
It's working. That's how we know it's working.
That's 9.
Last 3. You got it, tribe. Come on. Right to the end. There's no quitting you. We're not going to stop when it hurts. We're going to stop when we're done.
Last one.
There's 12. All right, excellent work, Claudia.
Nice job.
Excellent work to you out there, HASfit tribe. Hope you're feeling as pumped as we are right now.
Yeah.
Let's take that pump to the floor for a little cool down with a child's pose to reach through. Our cool down is great to bring our heart rates down slowly, as well as getting some nice little stretching mobility work in that'll help reduce our soreness the next day. So let's place those arms, straight arms out in front of us, and then we're gonna sit back onto our glutes to the best of your ability, relaxing those shoulders, pulling the shoulders away from the back, feeling that spine elongate. Just relax as you sit back. You can kind of walk your fingertips forward if you'd like to get a little extra stretch. And now we're going to do a reach through. So let's go ahead and take that right arm and reach through the window under your left arm and look through that window. And then come back to center. Now left arm underneath the right arm, reaching through and looking through that window as I stay down, and you feel that shoulder stretching.
Yeah.
And now let's go back to center child's pose. One more time through this sequence. Sitting back, just with our arms straight ahead. And now right arm goes through that left window. Don't be alarmed, one side's a little tighter than the other. Back to center. And left arm reaches through that right window. For 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, staying down on the floor now, we're going to move into what's called a page turner. I'm going to come onto my left side, lying down on my left side, and I'm going to bring my right straight arm on top of my left straight arm. My left leg is going to be straight, and then my right knee is going to be bent as it comes up and over. So there's your starting position. Now we're going to pretend we're a book, and we're going to open that page, open that book. Follow that hand with your eyes as you rotate all the way open as much as you can, and then close that book. So controlled here, not a race. And I always find that the more of these I do, from let's say my first rep to my 5th rep, I get a little looser on every one. I can reach a little further comfortably. And maybe you're more flexible than us. Maybe you're not as flexible as us. That's all right. Doing the best you can. Trying to keep that right knee down, because if you start to rotate those hips as you do this, you're not really stretching. You're just moving your whole body.
So try to keep those hips stacked.
On top of one another. Great point. All right, last one right here on this side. Again, eyes are following that hand. And back to the middle. Okay, same move, opposite side, of course, because we can't just do one side.
No, never.
It'd be terrible. Be imbalanced. All right, so now lying on my right side. Again, arms are stacked. Right leg is straight. Left bent knee is over. Hands are together. And let's open that book up. Again, don't be alarmed if one side's feeling tighter than the other. The more you do this one, the better you'll feel. It's a great one for that thoracic spine, that mid-back, our hips, shoulders, chest. We love this one just because, really, again, just such an efficient move. So many muscle groups getting hit in just one stretch. Great one for our posture as well. Sometimes I'll just do this one if I've been sitting for a while. It'll make me feel a lot better. Nice and under control. Let's go last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And there it is. Made it to the very end. Congratulations to you out there, HASfit tribe.
You made it.
You finished. One of the things that may help you to stick to your goals and accomplish those goals is a complete exercise program. And we have those in spades for you. Everything from muscle building, strength building, weight loss, you name it, HASfit has it for you.
That's right. And those programs can be found on the HASfit app, which can be downloaded to either an Apple or Android device.
You can also support us by stopping by our store, picking up some HASfit gear like a HASfit t-shirt or our diet guide, Eating for Life.
Don't forget to like us on your favorite social media channel.
Until next time, I'm Coach Kozak.
I'm Claudia.
And we will see you at your next workout.